The Kusanagi no Tsurugi is the most important sword in Japanese history. As you can see from the photo, it is not a katana. Long before the emergence of katanas, it is a legendary divine sword that appears in Japanese myths. This sword, as one of the 3 sacred treasures, had been passed down to the emperors from ancient time to the present day. The 3 sacred treasures refer to the hereditary treasures of the imperial family. The Kusanagi no Tsurugi, the Yata no Kagami, and the Yasakani no Magatama. These treasures are mentioned in Japan's oldest historical records, the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki. Within these texts, the origins of this legendary sword are documented. The tale dates back to the very beginning of Japan. There was a god named Susanoo no Mikoto. He was the son of Izanagi no Kami, who created the Japanese archipelago, and was known for his volatile temperament. After causing troubles in the realm where the gods resided, Susanoo was banished and descended to the land of Izumo, now known as Shimane Prefecture. There, he encountered a crying elderly couple and their daughter, Kushinada Hime. Susanoo inquired about their distress. As it turned out, they were from a lineage of mountain gods, and once had 8 daughters. However, every year a monstrous serpent with 8 heads and 8 tails called Yamato no Orochi would demand 1 daughter as a sacrifice. This year, it was the turn of their last daughter, Kushinada Hime. Susanoo then proposed a deal to the elderly couple. He would slay the serpent if he could take Kushinada Hime as his wife. They agreed, and he committed to vanquishing the beast. When Susanoo heard more about the serpent from the old couple, the details were truly terrifying. The serpent had 8 heads and 8 tails, a body covered in trees and moss, a belly stained red with blood, and was so immense that it spanned the size of 8 valleys and 8 mountains. After listening to the entire story, he began preparations to slay the serpent. Susanoo asked them to prepare 8 barrels filled with strong sake. He also, using his divine power, transformed Kushinada into a comb. By placing the comb-transformed Kushinada in his hair, he effectively became one with her. When Susanoo had the strong sake ready and lay in ambush, Yamato no Orochi finally approached. Thinking it was seeing Kushinada, the serpent eagerly plunged its heads into each barrel, drinking up all the sake. However, the figure it believed to be Kushinada was actually Susanoo in disguise. With the serpent now drunk and asleep, Susanoo seized the opportunity. He drew his long sword and hacked away at the serpent's heads and tails, ultimately killing it. As he cut through the tail, his blade chipped upon striking something hard. Curious, he sliced open the tail further and discovered a sword inside. This blade was the Ameno Murakumo Tsurugi, which would later become known as the Kusanagi no Tsurugi. The sword emanated a mysterious and malevolent aura, prompting Susanoo to send it as an offering to Amaterasu. Having vanquished the serpent, Susanoo then settled in Izumo with Kushinada. The poem he composed there is recognized as the oldest Japanese poem. This sword was later brought to the mortal realm by the grandson of Amaterasu and became one of the 3 sacred treasures, vital regalia for ruling Japan. Next up in our story is the hero Yamato Takeru, who plays a central role in the Kojiki Chronicles. He is the son of Emperor Keiko, the 12th Emperor of Japan. Due to his fierce temperament, the Emperor, fearing his son's fiery nature, tasked him with the subjugation of tribes in the West. After defeating the Kyushu tribes as instructed by his father, Yamato Takeru was next ordered to pacify rebellious gods in 12 eastern provinces and subjects who refused to submit to the imperial court. Facing numerous perilous tasks from his father, he lamented to his aunt, saying, "Could it be that my father wishes for my early demise with these harsh commands?" Feeling pity for him, his aunt bestowed upon him the Amano Murakumo no Tsurugi, a sacred sword dedicated to the Ise Grand Shrine. Armed with this sword, he set forth on an eastern expedition. While he made progress by subduing foes across the land, he was ambushed by bandits who tried to burn him alive. In a desperate moment, he used the sword to cut the grass, astonishingly causing the fire to turn back on the bandits, thus defeating them. It was from this incident that the sword came to be literally called the Kusanagi no Tsurugi, or the grass-cutting sword. Continuing his journey further east, Yamato Takeru subdued all bandits and the unruly mountain deities. Eventually, he began his journey back home and reached the land of Owari, present-day Aichi Prefecture. There he married Miyazu-hime. Taking a respite beside his wife, he later embarked on another expedition to subdue more deities. But this time, he left the Kusanagi no Tsurugi in the care of his wife. As a result, he was defeated in this battle and passed away. The Kusanagi no Tsurugi, which remained in the possession of Miyazu-hime, was venerated by her. Consequently, the Atsuta Shrine was established in the present-day Aichi Prefecture. Since then, this sword has been enshrined as the divine object of the Atsuta Shrine and is still venerated to this day. In truth, the photo of this sword is not of the genuine artifact. During the era of the 10th Emperor, Emperor Sujin, it was considered too reverential to enshrine the sword within the imperial palace, so it was eventually relocated to the Ise Grand Shrine. When transferring this treasure, a form substitute, a katashiro, for the sword was created. From then on, this form substitute was passed down within the imperial palace. A katashiro is essentially a replica. The Kusanagi no Tsurugi is a sword in which spirits reside. Therefore, an appropriate blade was forged as a vessel, and the divided spirit of this sword was enshrined within it. Today, even the reigning emperor, the formal successor, is forbidden from viewing the authentic swords kept at Atsuta Shrine. As for its appearance, it's said to be about 30 to 32 inches in length, with a blade resembling the leaf of an iris, and its handle is knobby like a fish's spine, and is predominantly white. However, records indicate that those who've directly seen the sword, including the chief priests, either faced exile or became critically ill and passed away. From this, it's believed that those who lay eyes on the sword will be cursed due to its spiritual wrath. Hence, no one truly knows the actual form of the Kusanagi no Tsurugi, and its details remain unconfirmed. We hope you enjoyed this exploration into the world of Japanese swords. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content about the history of Japanese swords. Until next time, sayonara.